This is Will County's News Talk Sports 1340 WJA. Well, it's time for Money Talk, brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union. I'd like to remind you that NuMark Credit Union is celebrating 70 years of service and wants to thank the loyal community members it serves with a variety of specials. From now until September 30th, you can get a $70 check for opening a new checking account and meeting the requirements. Stop by and celebrate at NuMark today. Call 815-729-3211 or visit a NuMark office near you. NuMark Credit Union, where you are family. That's right, $70 for just opening up a brand new checking account and meeting the requirements. We'd also like to remind you, speaking of free money, at the end of the program, we're going to give away a $25 Visa gift card. Some bit of information we're going to get from our guest today will be repeated as a trivia question or be asked in the form of a trivia question. And if you are the first correct caller on the Turk Furniture studio line at 815-254-7300, you have the answer to that question. We're going to give you a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. Doing Good Feels Good is the name of the program today here on Money Talk. I'd like to welcome on to the WJL airwaves, WJL.com, and on Alexa, Elliot Baker, Development Associate with the Northern Illinois Food Bank. Good morning, Elliot.
Good morning, Scott. Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely.
And happy Hunger Action Day to you.
Oh, I didn't know. Dang it, I missed that. I should have mentioned it earlier this morning. My bad.
No, not at all. Just make sure you get your family a card later, okay?
You got it exactly right. Sounds good. Well, Elliot, before we get into what you do at the Northern Illinois Food Bank and what the Northern Illinois Food Bank does, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. How did you come to work at the Northern Illinois Food Bank? How did your travels bring you here to the area?
Yeah, so I'm sure you picked up not quite a Northern Illinois accent there, is it?
Not really, no. Right, real quick,
no.
say I got to go shopping at the Jewel. Say that.
Oh, goodness. I've got to go shopping at the Jewel.
No, you're not from Chicago, no.
No, not quite. No, so I'm originally from southern England, a town called Southampton, city called Southampton, but actually did most of my growing up in Northern Illinois in the sort of St. Charles area. I've lived back and forth for a long time, and I've been in the nonprofit sphere for a couple of years in terms of human services, but worked in the arts sector before that. And I've been with Northern Illinois Food Bank for about half a year now, and absolutely love working for them and working for an organization that does such great work in the area that I still call home.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you this question. Americans listening will think I'm talking about one sport. I'm going to talk about the other. So are you a Saints fan? And you know what I mean by that.
When I was growing up, my whole family is actually from North London, so I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan.
You're a Spurs
myself.
fan.
I'm a Spurs fan, yes, and not the San Antonio Spurs.
Nope, and not the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, this would be the Southampton Saints. You got it. Yeah, I'm a big EPL guy, Elliot. So.
Oh, okay, very nice. Yeah, cool. Do you have a team yourself?
I'm a Chelsea. Don't judge me. My son was a Chelsea fan, so I'm kind of a fan of the blue. But I kind of like Liverpool now. I don't know why. Don't judge me. So whatever.
They're a charming team. What can you say?
They are, but I'm more of a Christian Pulisic fan, so I'm an AC Milan fan now. So there you go.
Gotcha.
You got it. All right, so let's get into this. A few weeks ago, I had on someone from the Northern Illinois Food Bank, and we were talking about food deserts and things like that. So I want to get into this. And if you're wondering why are we talking to the Northern Illinois Food Bank here on Money Talk, brought to you by NuMark Credit Union, NuMark has a lot of different causes. They're not just a not-for-profit organization here in the area, but they are a good customer or a good community member also. Yes, they have the credit union, but they like to get involved with a lot of different things. Earlier this morning, we were talking about what they do at the Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery for Flags In, and Northern Illinois Food Bank is one of their big causes, Elliot. So don't you love when organizations as big as NuMark wants to partner with you? They do.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a gift. It's such a joy to have people that are intent on giving back and also understand really the impact that they can have, not just as individuals, but as a company, that can really change so many people's lives and just I mean, NuMark, they've been with us for such a long time now, and they've been staunch supporters. And when it comes to nonprofits like Northern Illinois Food Bank or other smaller pantries, they survive, we survive based on having reliable support. And that's exactly what NuMark have been with us for years.
So what do you do on a daily basis? I hear the word development. That means you're probably out hoofing, looking for businesses like NuMark or others to help out the Northern Illinois Food Bank.
Right, yes. So you're absolutely right. So development refers, of course, to philanthropy in this example, as you suggest there. So my particular role is I assist in running Serving Hope, which is our monthly donor program. So people who want to give a sustained gift over a long period of time and give regularly on a monthly basis. But then I'm also the head of our peer-to-peer fundraising program. So for listeners who don't know, peer-to-peer fundraising is when a nonprofit supporters fundraise for them. So this could be through, Scott, if you go home and you want to throw a food drive for us, that's peer-to-peer fundraising. Or you want to run a marathon and you get people to sponsor you while you're running. Or you've got a birthday coming up and you say, you know what, in lieu of gifts, I would love it if people could donate to the food bank. All of those sorts of things. I sort of help people coordinate those and execute them to the best of their ability.
Awesome. Love it. Let's talk a little bit about an overview of the Northern Illinois Food Bank. How many counties are we talking about, and the number of people that you serve as well?
Yeah, great question. So when you think of Northern Illinois, I think a lot of people would assume Chicago. Well, the thing is, Chicago and Cook County is just so densely populated. They have their own food bank. What we do is we serve the 13 counties that wrap around Chicago. So, places like DeKalb, DuPage, Grundy. I'm based in Kane every day. I'm at our Geneva distribution center. We have 4 large distribution centers, including, as I said, Geneva, but also Lake Forest, Rockford, and Joliet. And then within our 13-county service area, we work with 900 partner pantries, so a whole lot of different locations that we work with. In terms of people served, we serve roughly 570,000 people per month. And to put that in perspective, it's an almost incomprehensible number, Scott, but we provided more than 90.5 million meals last year, which I just, absolutely stunning. So it's an awful lot of work, and we're just so thrilled to have not only the staff that we have, but the incredible volunteer team that we have. And also, of course, our wonderful donors and supporters that help make that a reality.
Right. 570,000 people per month. That's a massive number.
Yeah.
Man.
It is. Absolutely huge, and 1 in 9 kids in Northern Illinois is facing hunger. So it's not just adults we're serving. We serve people across the age gap. We've got programs for seniors as well. So it really is people from all walks of life and all backgrounds.
So if somebody, you mentioned it, run a marathon or have one in their neighborhood or whatever, how can people start that food drive? Obviously, they probably start by calling you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm definitely the point of contact for that. You can find me on the website at solvehungertoday.org. And what we do is we know people love having food drives. It's a great community event. For people who want to start food drives, we always recommend reaching out to us so we can let you know what the most in-demand items we have. Oftentimes there's things you wouldn't think of. I know right now we are really in need of things like cooking spray and shelf-stable plant-based milks. Those are things that are often requested. However, for people who really want to have the greatest possible impact, who want to stretch their money as far as they can, we're really encouraging people to invest in a virtual food drive. So a virtual food drive is slightly different from a regular one in the fact that what you do is you ask people, instead of contributing, that can of green beans, to instead contribute the cost of the can of green beans. And the reason for that is because at the food bank, we can turn every dollar donated into multiple dollars worth of groceries. So everyone knows, no matter how large or small, they're making a real difference. A way of thinking about this is, for a food drive, if you donate 1 can of green beans, the food bank will receive 1 can of green beans. If you donate via a virtual food drive for the cost of 1 can of green beans, we'll be able to get 8 cans of green beans. So you're really just letting that dollar stretch, making it go further. And we are just so grateful here at Northern Illinois Food Banks for every gift we receive, whether that's a financial gift or, foodstuffs as well. Everything helps.
That's awesome. We're talking this morning with Elliot Baker, Development Associate from the Northern Illinois Food Bank. Of course, NuMark Credit Union, one of their big partners is the Northern Illinois Food Bank. They do a lot throughout the course of the year to try to help feed those in this 13-county region. So let's talk about this. People are getting, hit a lot of times from people all over. They get phone calls. There's, mass marketing pieces in the mail. So what people like to do, from what I've seen, Elliot, and I'm sure you would agree, people like to know where their donation is going, and they like to keep a lot of their money at home. How do donors know that their donation is going towards people within their area?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's such a great question. So we want to make sure that, we at Northern Illinois Food Bank keep the money within that 13-county service area. And I know that trust and transparency with our donors, really with any nonprofit's donors, is simply non-negotiable. The fact is every nonprofit is going to have some level of operating cost, but we really work so hard to keep overhead to a minimum. And I can proudly tell you that, 96 cents of every dollar we raise goes directly to our programs. So, that's not accomplished by magic. It's accomplished through our incredible community. We, less than 25% of the food we distribute is actually purchased. The vast majority is donated through large corporate partners, like we talked about at the start, through the government. And, we are also blessed with such an immense volunteer roster. In order to make up for the work they accomplish over the course of a year, we'd have to hire 70, that's 70 full-time employees. We really have so many people who are just passionate about helping us. And that allows us to make sure that the donations people give us, they are spent in the way that the donor wants, which is to help their neighbors facing hunger.
Yep, no doubt. So a lot of people also like to volunteer. I had a buddy of mine that's in studio here this morning, and he's retired. And I said, "Are you bored?" And he goes, "Yes." So people are looking to volunteer and do things, whether they are retired, whether they're not retired, the young kids as well. How can people volunteer to help out the Northern Illinois Food Bank?
Yeah, that's such a great question. Thank you for asking. So the easiest way is via the website, solvehungertoday.org. You can also call our front desk, but again, that website will be your easiest avenue. And there you're going to find all the resources you need to help fight hunger. There is a tab on that website called Get Involved, and that's going to give you whether it's the option to donate a one-time or a recurring gift, but it's also going to explain the volunteering opportunities, and we really have a plethora of them. They include things like you'd imagine food sorting, packing, grocery distribution, but we also have other ways to make an impact volunteering, such as event volunteering. We have 4 signature events each year, and those things don't run themselves. We need people to help us do that. And also, if you're someone who maybe has more experience, perhaps administratively than hands-on, we also have skills-based opportunities. So, perhaps if that's something with data entry or helping us get forms logged into a system, that's still a way of helping out, and it still makes an impact. So please do head to the website, and you'll be able to find all of that there. Again, that's solvehungertoday.org.
Love it. solvehungertoday.org. So we all are in a situation where most of us listening right now can get food one way or the other, whether it's through the Northern Illinois Food Bank or one of the many food pantries we have here in the area. But we also maybe know people that are having issues getting food for one reason or another. Maybe they're incapacitated. Maybe they're homebound, elderly people. Maybe they don't have transportation. I mean, you see, Elliot, doing what you do, you've seen it all, literally. So if we know someone that's in need, how can we help steer them in the right direction or steer you towards them? I know we probably can't do, one-on-one, but how can we get them help?
Absolutely, yeah. And such an important question, right? Because a lot of times people who are in those positions of need, especially males, I tend to feel, sometimes have a really hard time reaching out and asking for help, right? And so sometimes it's best to bring, if you feel like that person could use the information, to bring it to them. And again, on our website, solvehungertoday.org, we have a tab that says Get Groceries, and that's going to offer you a breakdown of all the different ways that you can get food. I think people might think, listening to me talk today, that they need to go to one of our 4 distribution centers. Really, what we will do is we will point you to a pantry that is closest to home. Mm-hmm. In fact, we have this great pantry finder on our website. You just put in your address and it'll tell you the closest places you can go. And for the pantries that supply the information, the hours that they are open and that sort of thing. We also have a SNAP hotline, which we recommend. SNAP is, you might remember the term food stamp. SNAP is the new name for that. Yeah, the food stamp program at 844-600-7627, and they can help you figure out what you need to get the food you need to thrive, because that's what we want. We want our neighbors to thrive. We don't want people just to survive. We want people to be able to blossom and to be able to get out of the circumstances that they're in, because people who are facing hunger, this is not a character flaw. This is a circumstantial thing, and we can help them change that.
I'm on your website right now, solvehungertoday.org. This is really easy to use. You don't have to be...
Oh, great.
You don't have to be super good with the internet or with, social media or anything like that. This is really easy to use, and I'm looking at the exact page that you talked about. If you just scroll down a bit, find a local food pantry, and as you said, we work with over 900 local food pantries, mobile food trucks, soup kitchens who distribute. So the information is right there. This is a one-stop resource for people wanting help when it comes to the topic of finding food.
Absolutely, Scott. Yeah, everything you need is right there. We want things to be easy. I mean, access is something that's very important to us from the perspective of no one should struggle when you're already facing hunger. You don't need something else in your way, more obstacles that make things more difficult. So we do try and make everything clear and straightforward.
Yeah, I put in the zip code 60435. There's a church on Midland Avenue, Lively Hope, Joliet Jewish Congregation, Cathedral St. Raymond's. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Love this, love this, love this. Okay, so again, website, best thing to do, solvehungertoday.org. You can get a hold of Elliot or any of the other development specialists there or anyone else. If you have questions, please ask. Elliot, thank you so much for sharing your story today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Scott. And, I wish you a good EPL season, but not for Chelsea. Not for Chelsea.
I know. All right. We'll see you in a couple of weeks when the Spurs and the Blues go head-to-head. Thanks, Elliot. Take care, buddy.
Take care, mate. Have a good one.
You
Bye-bye.
bet. That's Elliot Baker, Development Associate with the Northern Illinois Food Bank. Okay, I have some cash. Well, a debit card to give away. $25 Visa gift card. More specifically, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. Boy, target-rich environment. Where do we go with today's question? We got to go with the accent, right? Where is Elliot originally from? You can give me city or country. But if it's country, I need to know what part of the country. 815-254-7300. He said it right at the very beginning. 815-254-7300. First correct caller on the Turk Furniture studio line is going to win a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. Do you recognize that accent? What country is Elliot Baker from with that accent? He said he wasn't from Chicago, and to prove that, I had him say, hey, where's the closest Jules? Because that's what someone from Chicago would, because they call it Jules instead of Jewel. Yeah, they would do that. 815-254-7300 is the phone number. That's 815-254-7300. What country is the development associate from Northern Illinois Food Bank, Elliot Baker, from? First correct caller wins. Congratulations to the number of people that are calling up. I got to get the winner offline right now because we got to go, because our buddy Rich Rennick is waiting in the wings with his guest today, and it's a name, if you're a sports fan in Chicagoland, you're going to recognize. You've been listening to Money Talk, brought to you by NuMark Credit Union, offering 70 years of service and celebrating 70 years of service. They want to thank the loyal community. It serves with a variety of specials. From now until September 30th, you can get $70 for opening a new checking account and meeting the requirements. Stop by and celebrate at NuMark today. Call 815-729-3211 or visit a NuMark office near you. NuMark Credit Union, where you